Yeah.
In 2020.
UBI. You want to start us off?
Universal ballot education. Alright, cut. What's up, tea people? This is your boy Denny.
This is your boy James, your number one boys here, bringing you some 90s Liuan. This is
Liuan.
some Heicha.
Yeah.
And this tea, it's different than Liu Bao, which is a little bit like ripe. So I'm always curious to try this. I haven't had a ton. So usually what they do is they brew a little bit of the bamboo that is put in. But really, it's all tips. That's part of this tea.
Cool.
So
it looks like small, tiny little leaves.
Yep.
So that makes sense. James heating up the brewing vessel, which is nice. So when you do have a gaiwan, one cool thing to do is heat her up and then throw the dry leaf in there, roll down a little bit, and you can get what's called the dry leaf smell. So we could do a rinse and get the wet leaf smell. But just a little preview. It smells like vegetables and old stuff. Smells good.
it's basically like Bill Clinton. 90s.
Either way, still probably uncomfortable.
Yeah. Anyways, we're moving on.
Color here for the age is going to be a deep auburn color. You're going to get that sort of red, darker, even crimson kind of color eventually. With enough age in these teas, of course, a young ripe will look the same way.
Right. Thank you to Atlas who sent me this tea. Sent in from a tea friend. So yeah, how's that smell?
It was really good. Really molassesy and earthy, sweet, deep.
Yeah.
Really deep
I'm
flavors.
Gonna knock that mom test out now. No mom test.
Maybe, yeah. We'll see. Likely. Okay, I'll give you that. Likely.
Yeah. You're gonna get a little sediment in the cup. It's gonna be a fun time overall.
True. As one part, wow, look at that freaking color. That's insane. One part of small leaves, too, is that if you don't use a filter, you probably will be drinking a little bit of it. Smell is amazing. The color is amazing. Now, it's 19 years old or whatever, maybe a little less. Even so, really dark.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
And that's not because you're using a lot of leaf. That's just the core. Wow.
It smells aged.
Yeah, well, it's changed a lot too since the dry smell.
Mm-hmm.
So it has a really
distinct smell.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Not even sure. Do you smell bamboo?
No, I don't smell bamboo, or anything kind of grassy. No, it smells maple, barky to me, and just a little bit vegetal, verdant. Just kind of, I don't know, yeah.
Does it smell like Hong Kong pu'er? Not really,
no,
right?
It doesn't smell particularly wet.
Right.
It seems pretty clean, honestly. So.
All right, let's give this a go then.
Yeah. Man. There you go. Cheers.
Sort of sweet, creamy immediately.
Yeah. It's got a nice cherry wood accent note in there. Really earthy.
Yeah.
Really great, deep, lasting, mineral-y flavors.
Yeah. Tastes definitely aged.
Tastes definitely like it. So unlike a ripe pu'er, which would be very sort of vanilla cherry cream right there and that's it, this has that depth that you get from a raw, that you will notice. You will taste how this is a raw pu'er.
Yeah.
It's not just it's obvious.
Really sweet and smooth. Oddly enough, I could see this being actually a pretty good ultralight tea if you could brew it right.
Ooh.
And not get too much sediment. Yeah.
It's so hard to drink just without the filter out there. That's one reason why oolongs are so good is they're just clumped. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the only thing about that would just be that this really, I think you don't want to overdo this one. You want to steep it quickly and keep drinking a lot of it.
So I guess, how'd you describe that ultralight test last time? It's sort of
one way of looking at it would be just the fussiness of the tea. How convenient is it to brew the tea or not? Right. I think this tea requires a little bit more attention to detail than maybe the ultralight test would want.
That makes sense.
Really yummy. Really different. I mean, there's a bitterness, almost a hollowness to this tea that reminds me a little bit of potentially some oolongs.
Right.
Really, really tasty.
Yeah. It's not as I feel like pu'er tends to have a really big profile to it. I'd say this is a little bit more narrower as far as that goes. But interesting. It's an interesting contrast versus I think a few different teas.
A little bit more of the pencil shaving vibe in it now. Which can almost be described as sort of a charcoaly meets aged wood thing. Really nice.
Some people drink aged tea for the energy. We drink it for the pencil shavings. Bumper sticker.
Yeah. I can only imagine.
But yeah, it has that sort of woody profile to it. I agree with that.
So it's sweet. Not going to pass the mom test necessarily, but not abrasive. I mean, that's really what the age is. Benefit
very. It's no astringency really.
Really full bodied. A lot going on.
Right, and I'm gonna give this a little bit more of a test here, just to see what we can get out of this.
Right.
Yeah.
And so this Heicha is all fine leaves, so it will brew out quickly. This is going to be intense, is what I'm going to basically hazard a guess at.
Right. I mean, it's tips. This is not compressed, obviously. Or at least if it was compressed, the bits we have are broken apart.
Right.
And that's a color.
Yeah, that's
dark.
That's
a very dark color.
Yeah. But not so... Sometimes when you get a tea increasing in the saturation of the liqueur so dramatically, you can almost just say, okay, this is going to have a really... puckering mouth effect, right? This tea has not increased. You haven't increased in the amount of time brewing the tea at all. It's really dark. You can see just the pooling of the leftover liquid is super dark too. Yeah. Oh man, it does have a really kind of roasted charcoal flavor and smell to it now.
This is almost like the perfect tea to have on a really cold, snowy day. We're not quite there yet in Seattle, but we might be soon enough.
Yeah. Although you want to have enough, you don't want to be so frigid that you're just anything warm, I can't even taste anything.
Yeah, or you're I can't feel my hands, and you burn yourself on the gaiwan. Never happened to me.
Oh man, this is really quite nice. If I had to guess, I would definitely say with confidence that I would be able to distinguish this from just a young ripe. It has a lot of those notes to it with a lot of extra, though.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a strong overlap with
distinct aged taste to this for sure. I agree with that.
Yeah, and it's tolerating the heat really well, which is characteristic of some of these older teas. Really yummy. Yeah, I love the mineraliness of this. All of the kind of verdant notes are gone, I'd say, or close to gone.
I think it did pretty well with the longer steep.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. Really warming to the core tea. Yeah.
Wait, what about number 5, I think?
I think this is 4. We're going to do number 5, though.
Cool.
Yeah.
They know what we're talking about. We don't remember what we're talking about.
Yeah. The UBI, the Universal Bowel Index.
Oh, God.
Tea's a laxative, guys. Health benefits.
Oh, man. Try to segue back into the tea that we're drinking, which is really good.
It is really good.
Yeah, it's really tasty.
Some people say we're disrespectful for tea, but I don't know. This tea is great. Yeah.
I'm loving the charcoal accent to this, and I think that's one of the best, most distinct aspects of this tea.
So that's the bit that sort of reminds you of woolies, right? Like charcoaly, minerally.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's a characteristic that's a little bit distinct from pu'er.
Yeah, usually. It's something I'd say that normally that experiences, that flavor profile comes with the wooey. It comes from one of those roasted oolongs that are charcoal roasted or roasted multiple times.
Right.
It can come from some ripes in some ways, but uncommonly. No, I'd say this is kind of a unique flavor profile to have in a tea like this, definitely.
Any somatics?
Any semantic?
Is it like any body reaction?
Oh. Somatics. Good.
Fancy words.
Yeah.
SAT prep next episode.
There you go. Yeah. Nothing crazy. No. I wouldn't say this is like a particularly super warming tea. I think its flavor profile fits winter perfectly. But I'm not.
You're not sweating.
Yeah, I'm not going crazy.
Yeah.
Strong potentially though. I mean, so at least from a flavor lasting perspective, we're sitting here talking about it. I'm still tasting the tea quite a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Stevie number 5?
Yep.
Let's do it.
Cheers.
Salud. Oh, man. There's almost a like vegetal, medicinal. I mean, it's just that age, smell, and taste that I'm not even drinking it. I'm just smelling it.
Mm-hmm.
So strong there. Yeah, it's
really delicious.
Given that this is stored in such a wet, humid place, one certainly has accelerated the tea,
but very clean.
But very clean.
Yeah,
yeah, exactly. So we're drinking something that tastes older than it is, comparatively speaking, on a relative basis. But even then, what you can sometimes come to expect with that is that it can be a little funky for the first couple of steepings.
Right.
Throughout it's been clean.
Yeah, I feel like maybe this tea, if it did have some more humid storage, it was early on in its life and it's since really cleaned up.
Oh, it's really nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely a kind of fancy person tea. Wouldn't probably share this with your tea noob friends. They don't deserve this.
Yeah.
Can someone pick this up?
Unfortunately, I don't believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As with most fancy teas that we hype up, well, like, oh yeah, too bad.
Pouring this rinse down the drain.
You would want to rinse, so the tea needed a rinse.
Oh yeah.
For sure. All you weirdos out there.
Only Rinse Drinker 42 would drink this rinse.
Damn him. Plaguing us.
It's our nemesis.
Yeah, our top commenter.
Yeah.
Always plaguing us. Really yummy. Sorry people can't try this, but get some aged raw pu'er if you can. Maybe some Hong Kong stored.
If you run into aged Liuan, definitely check it out. I think it's a tea worth trying for sure. It's not super available. I don't own any. I don't know exactly where to get it. Probably pops up now and then.
Yeah.
The fact that people like this get it. Generally, the nice thing about these other Heichas is they tend to be cheaper than aged pu'er, just because they're a little less in the hype factory. Yeah. So, delicious tea. Thank you, Atlas, for sending this in. Denny, where can someone find out more about tea?
Internet, the Google, TeaDB.org. Send us an email, tdborg@gmail.com, if you want to get in touch about sending us tea and potentially us bringing your tea on the show. Just get in touch about stuff in general. Just your life, dating.
Yeah,
don't do that.
Bring in all the advice. That's next episode.
Advice, TDB advice column.
Yeah. Dating with TDB. Gaiwan dating. Still some.
Okay, anyway. TDB.org, subscribe, hit the bell, hit the like button, send this to someone you care about.
Hit all the buttons but the dislike button.
As punishment.
Yeah. Unless you really like us, then you're allowed to hit
getting dislikes. Let's not test that, but it probably helps. Like, they just want you. The YouTube
shows you're real.
Just want you to
that you're not outsourcing all the likes.
They just want people to click stuff. That's what they want. They want people to click stuff. Just click stuff.
Yeah.
Go around, just click it. Bring your mouse out into the cafe and just click on things. Something might happen.
Yeah, you might click on to the next video.
See you then.
Cheers.